Hey, I'm John Greaves III. I'm the founder of Garage Gym Life. You guys know that I'm all about home gyms. I think they can be the best gym in town because you custom tailor them to you and your needs. And we are going to check out another amazing home gym owned by Ashley the Amazing, who is the owner, proprietor, and founder of Go to Grow Fitness, LLC. We're going to be talking about her home gym, as well as how she uses it in her business to help her clients, and also in her own career as an IFBB Pro. But first, if this is your first time on this channel, please help me out. I'm trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. Please go ahead, hit that subscribe link, share this video with a friend who you think might enjoy watching it, because it's free for you to do that, but it means the entire world to me, and I really appreciate it. All right, let's jump right into it. Ashley, thanks for having us in your home.
Thank you for having me, John. I'm excited to be here.
I'm going to try to match your level of excitement. See, I'm sitting down at my desk, so I can't do all that hopping and jumping jacks and stuff that you're doing, or side straddle hops, as they call when we were in the military. But on the inside, I'm doing all the stuff you're doing on the outside, okay? One of the reasons I always tell people that the home gym is the best gym in town is because you can custom tailor it. You're the classic example of that, all right? Just think about all of the things that you're into. You are a certified yoga instructor. You have your CSCS through the National Strength and Conditioning Association, which is one of the most reputable strength and conditioning training organizations in the world. And from personal experience, I can tell you the CSCS exam is one of the hardest tests you will ever take in your life. You are also an IFBB Pro in physique, right?
Actually, an IFBB Pro in physique, bodybuilding, figure, and wellness.
See, okay, so there you go. So each one of the things I just mentioned requires slightly different modes of training. And then you're also a fan, like I am, of street parking. And so you continue to do like their CrossFit style workouts. Well, imagine if you belong to a public gym and you kept having to go to the owner and say, hey, do you mind changing all your equipment? Because now I'm into this other thing.
Or even that, you might have to have multiple gym memberships just to get what you needed for the workout you're going to do that day.
Exactly. And that's why I say it's actually really cost effective, because it doesn't necessarily cost a whole lot to be able to get different equipment. But when you decide you're going to do it at a public gym, you're going to end up having to have multiple memberships, or the owner's going to be telling you no a lot when you say, well, now I'm into this other thing, right? You're in your home gym right now. You use this to train clients in person, and you also have some virtual clients. And I would assume that if you need to demonstrate an exercise, you film it there in your home gym. Is that right?
Yes, 100% correct.
The walls are a nice light color, so that's not a big deal. But because you're a physique coach, did you have to do anything special with the lighting in order to be able to do like posing type related things?
Yes, so I did put in the light up here above, little the fluorescent lighting, and then I attached it up there, and then I have one that's on the back wall above the garage door as well.
All right, do you have a portable light that you move around? Like I went and got one of those little cheap shop lights from Home Depot, just in case I needed to do lighting on it, like for photos, for products and things like that. Do you have any kind of portable lighting that you've had to put in place?
I do. I have like a little portable ring light on a tripod that I can move around.
Nice, nice. Okay, so that's something that you guys thought and did not realize you were going to get. We're going to talk about lighting, but that is an important thing, and I can promise you it's important because I see some of your Instagram videos. So please, it is not expensive. You can go ahead and grab some inexpensive small lights from, like I said, from Home Depot. Very inexpensive. I'll drop a link to one in the description for this video, and if you give me the link to the one that you use, Ashley, I'll put the link for that in here as well. All right, now you're standing in front of your rack. What kind of rack is that?
So this is the Rogue HR2 half rack.
Is that the first rack that you had, or is this an upgrade?
No, this is a way bigger upgrade. I initially started off with a rack that's older than me that my dad had, that him and his friends back in the day cut out of metal and welded. It was just your standard squat rack, but it was bolted together. So I had two little uprights and then two screws that went in the bottom, and it was it was very minimal.
So what were the things that attracted you to this specific rack?
So when I got this, I was really big into CrossFit at the time in 2019. I went through this whole, like, let's do the CrossFit Open and see how far I can go in 9 months. So I got this because I wanted to be able to do wall balls. I had to, get the J hooks. I had to order the safety arms. I had to get the weight plate. I had to, I bought the connection for the battle rope. I bought the glute hip thrust pad. So this rack was basically just to kind of support my endeavors for CrossFit.
what did you do to customize your training as you shifted away from CrossFit and more to the other stuff that you started to get into?
The functional trainer was definitely a huge piece. And then I also ended up having, which I sold a couple weeks ago, a really versatile Smith machine that had dual pulleys, and that one was a very special piece for me.
So there's your functional trainer, and that helps you out a little bit more with the bodybuilding side of things. What would you say is like the biggest game-changing feature of that you couldn't replicate with the Rogue Rack?
Just the arms that moved up and down and then go side to side, which I can train at any plane of movement that I want with this. And I do like cables because of the constant resistance and the tension that they offer. And
that's an Inspire, correct?
Yes.
Okay, how long have you had it?
I got this in 2018.
Okay, so it's holding up pretty well for you. How's the pulley action? Is it still smooth? Everything okay?
This thing is just as good as when I first got it. And I bought it from a woman, Facebook Marketplace, just so everybody knows, that is the place where you shop for gym equipment.
Yeah.
You can really get some good deals. So I got this on Facebook Marketplace. Some woman was selling it, she bought it, and then she's like, I've never actually used it. It's brand new, and she gave me a really good deal. And it's another very special piece because there's so many exercises. The versatility of it is priceless.
All right, so sometimes we have, I don't want to call it buyer's remorse, but sometimes you see like a better version of it, right? Because like, and this happens to me, like, so for example, I had the Rep AB 5200, I fell in love with it, I loved the thing. Then I went to Home Gym Con where I met you, or we think maybe that was our second time meeting. We just don't remember where we know each other from. And we went to Home Gym Con, and Rep had come out with an upgraded version of the AB 5200 that I feel guilty, but I like it better than the one I have now. So at any times in the time that you've had your Inspire, has there been anything that you've said, man, I really wish it did this like this other thing I saw or whatever?
Yes, 100%, John. So the thing that I wish this had is I wish I had taller height, and that's because for me, I'm young, I'm mobile, I can get all the way down on the ground to do a lat pull down, right? But I still wish I had ability to go a little bit higher for that extension. As I said, I do train clients, and some of them cannot get down on the ground. So if I have them on like a bench, that their range of motion is really limited because the rack only goes so high, the Inspire. Whereas, if we had a little taller, they could get a fully lengthened and then a fully shortened contraction.
So have you considered just raising the device itself up a little bit with some sort of blocks or something like that?
I'm just worried just because for my training purposes and insurance and liability, that modifying this and raising it could also make it unstable if it's, for whatever reason. I'm just going to actually, because I'm also getting the Squat Max this week to get delivered. So I'm actually going today to look around and trying to get a new machine that combines the rack and the functional trainer, so I can sell these two pieces and upgrade and save some space.
That's the deadlift platform you got from Executive Fit?
Yes, you want to see it?
Heck yeah, show it to me.
It's beautiful. It is, the craftsmanship on this, absolutely amazing. It's so sturdy, it's seamless, it's flawless. I mean, his work, like, good on Executive Fit. I love it.
Is that center part slick, or did he put some sort of tacky material to make it solid?
Oh, it's a little slick.
How wide is it? So if you were to stand on it and go into like a sumo stance, okay, yeah. So is it slick enough that you wouldn't be able to deadlift barefoot?
As I said, this is a little slick, but it's not slippery, and it's smooth, but I have no issues. Even barefoot, I can still get a good solid grip on the surface.
Okay.
You could also, and I'm going to add on to that, there is a company called Bombas that they sell really nice high quality socks, and they have little grippers on the bottom.
Oh yeah, I've heard it. You know what? Give me the link, and I'm going to put it in the description for this video, because
that is,
I want this to be a nice teaching. So that's a pretty good call out. One thing that I love about your gym is I can see the mix of old and new stuff in there. The stuff you got from your dad. And right there, I see a combination of some old York roundheads, and those look like the NuoBells. So let's talk about the York roundheads first, because I mean, they started making them in like the 1930s, and those things were great. As far as I remember, they're one solid piece of construction, instead of like the way some cheaper dumbbells are made now, where they'll tack weld the handles to the ends. And I've seen some stuff happen, like where dumbbells get dropped, and I've seen dumbbells break. But with the York, they're so well made that people actually will cut them to make them into blobs. Since you've used so many different kinds of dumbbells, how do you like the York dumbbells compared to, say, like the round or even the pro style?
I love New York, not only because, like Abby said, I had a home gym and I grew up watching him use these, and you know, he kind of paved the way for me to have a home gym. But they are, I mean, they feel good. I love the design of them. I mean, I will never get rid of them. They're with me forever.
And so for people who've never used a York dumbbell handle, they are not straight across. They expand in the center. How does that feel in your hand versus dumbbells that they use now, which tend to be just straight across? They don't have that kind of, I don't know, swollen part in the middle?
It kind of gives you a good firm grip. It just feels good in your palm.
I know one of the bodybuilding tricks is you're doing certain exercises, you want to kind of shift the focus to a different part of the muscle group or whatever. So let's say you're doing tricep extension. Maybe you hold the weight where the bottom of your hand, like one side, yeah, it's like touching here. And then you say, okay, well, I'm going to shift it and move it to the other side, depending on what I'm doing. Do you ever do that?
All the time, yeah.
Okay. Is that easier or more difficult with a York style versus a handle that's symmetrically the same diameter all the way through?
I would say having that little fatter grip in the middle gives you, it fits your palm better. It kind of molds to your hand instead of your hand molding to the dumbbell.
How high does your set go?
I have 10 all the way to 50.
And I assume that you use the NuoBells if you need to go heavier than 50.
These go from 10 all the way to 80.
All right, so the first thing I have to say is, because I used to have a set of Bowflex 52s, they went up to 52 pounds, and those things were so brittle that quick story, I was doing dumbbell flies, and I found that little latch mechanism that holds the little inserts in place was faulty. Fortunately, I was on the eccentric portion when it fell out. And I'm like, well, what if that had fallen out when I was at the top, or if I was doing something like maybe what's this called, like the SOTS press? And I'm like, what if I was doing something like that and it fell on me, right? So I was like, nah, we're not going to do that. Got rid of them and said, I'm never allowing that in my home again. Talk to me about the locking mechanism for the NuoBells. And if you say you're doing like a drop down set or something like that, how quick is it to change the weights?
I had the Bowflex that went up to 92, and I had the same thing. The locking mechanism fell apart. I got rid of those. I got these. I had no issues. I mean, you can just walk up, click, click, lift.
Okay, so how much weight is that right now?
35.
Okay, so go from that to drop it down to 25. Boom. Okay, that was really quick. So if you
I do like that it clicks, because it kind of gives you that auditory feedback that it's changing.
You know, back in the dark ages of the 20th century, when I first started lifting weights, we would call it like a strip set, or sometimes they call it running the rack. So you do a set to failure, you drop to the next weight and go again. And so that seems like it'd be really easy to do with the NuoBells.
It is. It's quick and effective. And then if you're driving somewhere for like a weekend trip or vacation, they're actually pretty easy to take with you, so you can still get a workout while you travel.
Okay, Ashley, so I'm not a fan of cardio, so I don't really need variety. I just want the thing that's the easiest to use, the least and the toughest to ignore doing, right? So what would be the thing that you use all of the time for your conditioning?
Well, I do love cardio, and the number one piece that I use is my NordicTrack Treadmill.
Okay, is that a manual treadmill?
It's automatic.
I actually think that's good. I used to fight, and the thing that my coach always said is like, well, if you're running outside or if you had a manual treadmill, when you get tired, you can slow down. With an automatic treadmill, it's going to keep going, so it kind of gives you that internal, hey, you better keep up, you know, type of thing, so it's harder to stop.
And then another thing about this one compared to the Assault is this one goes incline and decline, where Assault is it's just that one plane of motion.
And then it looks like that's a Peloton?
Yep, Peloton.
Okay, and how do you fit that into your training?
For people that are trying to build mass, especially in your legs, running is not recommended, because it's actually going to transition your muscle fiber type to type 1, which is a lot smaller and leaner, and you're going to lose some of your bulk. Whereas cycling, which are used on kind of leg days, actually can build type 2 muscles, which is the kind you want for hypertrophy and to gain in size. So The Peloton fits into my training because if I'm in kind of a bulking phase, I gravitate towards this because I can have it help me complement my goals to build muscle mass in my legs.
And then behind you, what is that right there on this?
It is an elliptical that kind of goes up and down. I have this for if I need any kind of non-impact, like recovery, if I am super sore or if by chance my knees are a little fatigued. I have the elliptical just to have some cross-training, non-impact cardio.
Okay, so tell me about this rower and how do you use it in your training?
The rower. This is my least favorite piece of cardio equipment, and I hate rowing, but it's a necessary evil from time to time because it does really help with your back and your upper body engagement. So this is more for my street parking, metabolic conditioning. I don't actually do like any kind of steady state rowing. It's just kind of intermixed with like a Metcon.
I love my rower. Maybe love's too strong. I use my rower for recovery the day after deadlifts because it forces me to go through that sort of a similar movement pattern and gets blood in and out of there and helps start the recovery process. But it's not interesting. So I actually have to use a gaming app. If anybody who's watching this hasn't seen it, I did a review of my favorite gaming app, and you got the link is popping up on screen right now. You guys can check it out. But if it's not there, it's like I'm basically just rowing and not going anywhere. And it's
very monotonous.
And then this is the notorious StepMill.
Yes.
That thing is grueling. So how do you use that in conjunction with the other pieces that you have?
Most bodybuilders put this in their prep so I can really work on my conditioning and really bring out kind of a very lean, hard look because it really forces you to contract and squeeze all the leg muscles. And of course, as you know, it's grueling and it burns a crap ton of calories. So I implement this during contest prep.
As we wrap this up, what would be the one piece of cardio equipment you would recommend somebody get if they're setting up a home gym for the first time?
So if there's somebody that just wants to maintain general fitness, I would say the treadmill, because walking, and we as humans are designed to walk. So it is the most beneficial and normal human movement. And I tell people you want to make progress, just start walking. And then for somebody else who maybe wants to add some size or really work on their conditioning and increasing cardiorespiratory fitness, then it would be the spin bike.
Well, I appreciate it. And I know that people are going to want to know more about your training. They're going to want to be able to check out your training, and they want to see some of these Squat Max videos that you have on your Instagram. So let everybody know how they can get in touch with you if they want to hire you for training, and they just want to follow your training journey as you go through the different things you do, including what I consider evidence, because you had no business on that obstacle course that said closed off. Yeah. So go ahead and let everybody know how they can get in touch with you.
So, hey guys, if you need to get in touch with me, we're going to link my Instagram. You can message me there, or you can go to my link tree in the bio, and there's ways to contact me for coaching, or, look at I have some sponsors. You can get with their my affiliate links there. And there's also in my coaching a way to email me. So just kind of funnel everything through my Instagram.